Alright, what's going on, guys? We are still up here in Melbourne, or at least the Melbourne area. Gonna be doing some freshwater fishing, at least I think it's freshwater, might be a little brackish. The target species is gonna be mountain mullet. So it looks like there were 2 reports of mountain mullet caught in this area here, and we're gonna try to catch some. However, I do not have very high hopes for that, and by not very high hopes, I mean my hopes are almost zero after looking at the waters here. But we'll see what we can do. Chances are good this won't even make it into a video, and I might just be talking to no one right now. But if you're watching this, that means I had at least a somewhat successful day. So mountain mullet are found from Florida down into the Caribbean, and I think into South America as well. Oftentimes they're found in freshwater or brackish water creeks. In Florida, they're not super common. If you go to like Puerto Rico, they're extremely common. So we're gonna try to get some mountain mullet. But like I said, don't think it's gonna happen. But let's give it a try and let's see what happens. Alrighty, so there is the little creek we are going to be fishing. It's fed this way from a bunch of like lakes and ponds and swampy areas, and then it's fed this way from a little canal. Obviously there's not a lot of water here, and it's very thick over there, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go and like get into there. But let me just drop this little thing down here. Let's see if we can find something, but like I said, very, very low expectations for this working out today. Got him. Okay, are you kidding me? This was actually really easy. This is a mountain mullet. Oh man, I didn't think it would be that easy. Sweet. Alright, so there is our mountain mullet. I found like one deeper hole down there, and this guy bit pretty quickly and looks like it is starting to rain. But let's throw this guy back. I can't believe we actually got one and got one that quick. But let me fish for a little bit more. I'd love to catch a couple more of those, and maybe there's something else in there either. Maybe we could find like a big mouth sleeper or something like that, because if there's mountain mullet in here, chances are also good there's going to be big mouth sleepers. But yeah, let's keep going. Got him. Another mountain mullet? Yes, it is. Sweet. Alright, so these guys are actually like really feisty, but it's mountain mullet number 2 for the day. Still, I'm in complete disbelief that this actually worked, and worked so well and so easily. But yeah, alright, let's keep going. Let's see what else we can get. Let me also show you what I'm using to catch these guys. Pardon the dirty hands. The last 2 fish flopped off the hook into the grass and dirt, so my hands are all grassy and dirty. Just a little ice fishing style jig head. Believe it is 1/3 of a gram, right? 0.3 grams, and then a little 13 fishing cousinet. I think that's how you pronounce it. Looks like a little cricket or crawfish imitation. So when I saw this water, I knew we had to go small, because any bigger lure, there's just not enough water for any bigger lures. But this thing has worked really well so far. Let's drop it down there. Let's see if we can find some other fish. We got 2 from the same hole, but even if there's more in that hole, they might be spooked. So I don't know if we'll get more from that hole, but I am already happy. I'm still in real disbelief that worked. Oop. Had another bite there. That's a different hole. There's not a lot of fish down here, but let's see if I can catch one more. Oh, okay. I mean, not a mountain mullet, but I wasn't expecting only mountain mullet to be in here. Let's take a look at this thing. Alrighty, so this little thing is going to be a little spotted sunfish. So obviously we got the mountain mullet out of there. I saw some really small sunfish looking things like about that big. Thought about getting the tanago out. I'm still thinking about getting the tanago out just to see what those are, because it looks like there's also some sort of like longer elongated fish down there. So I'm curious what those are. But for now, let's keep throwing this little thing around. Try to get some other fish out of this little creek type thing. Alright, so the current in here is moving really, really fast, and while I was trying to catch some more mullet or whatever, it would kind of push my jig head under all these rocks and logs and whatnot, and I got broken off twice on some snags. And all I brought with me were two of those 13 fishing little small lures. So I think we're done catching those fish, or at least that kind of fishing. Now I put on a little tanago hook with a little bit of gulp maggot. We're going to try to catch some of these little micros here. I think some are like juvenile little Lapomus sunfish, but I do think there are some other fish in here as well. And one is coming up, and it's a little mosquito fish, but let's take a look at this guy anyway. Alright, so there's our little mosquito fish. I would like to get the photo tank, but I'm not gonna make my way down there just to get some water for this guy. So there it is. Probably the most common micro in Florida, which is a nice little juxtaposition from those like very rare mountain mullet. We got two of those, and then we got two of these super common little mosquito fish. Alright guys, so that's going to do it, and look at that, I did end up turning this into a video. I really did not think we were going to get mountain mullet out of here. I really didn't think we were going to get much out of there at all, if anything, after I looked at it. It just didn't look fishy. Like, it was really fast moving. It was fairly shallow outside of like one like slightly deeper hole, which I would still consider to be pretty shallow. And there was all this like junk in the way that made fishing really, really challenging and difficult. And I really didn't think there would be really any catchable fish in there. And then not only were there catchable fish in there, but we got two of these mountain mullet that really we came up here to try to get. So that was great. Like I mentioned a little bit about the mountain mullet in the intro, they're pretty rare, not super, well they are very widespread, they got a very wide range, but they got very specific, I guess, habitat or ecosystem requirements. Florida has a couple populations of them. If you get down into the Caribbean, like I mentioned, Puerto Rico, there's a lot of them in those mountainous rivers there. I saw them once before on a river in Belize, and I tried to catch them, and they were just not interested in any of the lures or bait that I threw at them. Ended up getting a couple tetras and a catfish over in that spot when I tried to catch them in Belize, and there were a lot of them in that one spot in Belize, at least a couple dozen. So I thought they were going to be difficult to catch, but on the very first drop with that little 13 fishing cricket crawfish imitation type thing, we got one, and I think on the next cast after that we got the second one. After that, I think I kind of fished that hole clean. It was a small hole to begin with. I don't think there were more of them in there, and like all the other little holes that I tried there were no other ones. We got one spotted sunfish, one eastern mosquito fish, so not all that bad of a day at all. So yeah, really surprised I got them, but I'm also really happy I got them. So hope you liked it, and I will see you guys next time.